Jody Davies didn't have to send a rep, because here he is. 668 for the Tennessee runner. Brian Kirkpatrick. The Malibu wagon on a 678. The difference as the bulbs come down on the tree out there. That two-door wagon going to be off and running. A lot of body work in that car. Taking the four doors out, putting the two-door on from a two-door Malibu. Looks good. Didn't help him here. Jody Davies gets the win, 666 on a 668. He's under by 15. Kirkpatrick goes 676 on a 678. He's under by 18. Take the 15 minus, or take the 18 minus 15. You got 3 thousandths of a second difference between the two of them. Earning the DragRaceSolutions.com buy run this time around. Aaron Westbury hikes the front end of the Nova up into the air. Cruises on through 569.8 on a 571. How about a trip 02 reaction time for Westbury? Yeah. So 9-door cars. We've whittled it down to 5. We've got 8 dragsters. Going to whittle it down to 4. I see my League of Independent Businessmen has moved over into the shady grandstands on the west-hand side. Y'all behave yourselves over there. Four pairs of the long skinny cars. Lenny Booker and Andre Nunez. Going to be our first two out. Andre on the right-hand side, 482 for the runner out of Puerto Rico. Booker over here on the left on a 477. Going to give him about a gnat's eyelash handicap start. Over there on the right-hand side. Green lights a pair. One of the prettier shade of green. That's Andres. He's 10 on the tree, 83-1 on his 82. Taking 8th thou stripe for the win, 477. Dead 9 on the dial, 20 on the tree by Lenny to come up 21 inches short. Down at the other end of the racetrack, and well, that's not much. But for Andre, it was just enough. Gary Williams comes rolling in now, the FTI. Florida-based entry. Bozier and Mickey Thompson. 483 to dial. Gary here on the left. Justin Daniels, the Indiana-based runner, the undercover chassis, Showtime car. 530 to dial for Justin. Gary Williams busted the tree with a 12 thou reaction time. Runs dead on 6 for an 18 pack. Justin 25 at the hit. Gets down there, takes the stripe by 7 10 thou. But there's an inch and a half difference between the two of them down at the other end. With Gary getting the win. Carol McCarty right, Kevin Brannon left. We work our way to our 4 semifinalists. Here in our Jegs 20K warm-up race. Brandon left side. McCarty right. Handicap start. Going to go to Carroll over on the right-hand side. Red light start by Carroll. 006 too quick out of the gate. Kevin Brandon says, hey, I'll take it. 468 on a 451, stepping off the throttle. Down at the other end, trying to save a little bit of wear and tear on that hot rod. Buchanan gets the W. He'll be back. One of our Final Four contestants, and I will guarantee you that we will have at least one Texas car in the Final Four. Because you got two of them squaring off here. Hunter Patton left side, Spencer Massey right lane. Two genuinely highly talented young Texans. Going at it. Massey right side, 473. Hunter here on the left on a 461. A pound difference between the two. 61.4 on a 61, 22 thousandths package by Hunter. Spencer goes 19 on the tree, runs 472.8. Takes 5 stripe, breaks out by 2. Missed it by a whisker. Down at the other end of the racetrack. So Hunter Patton makes his way into the Final Four. Round number 8 of our Jegs 20K warm-up event. A little bit of time for everybody to cool and fuel and charge and splash and gas. Again, don't forget, 10 o'clock start tomorrow morning. Be calling our first cars out for round number 2.
Jegs. Jegs.
pleasure, it's a party, it's a trick, it's a fire. Keep it up, never quit, quit, quit. Let it out, take a sip, sip, sip. You're pulling me from a higher elevation, gravity in the making. Wanna move to your beat, beat, beat. I'm stuck in the heat. Go easy on me. When you steal my heart, easy on me. When I fall apart, easy on me. Take it from the start. You're making me feel all brand new. If this is for real, baby, go easy on me. When you steal my heart, on me, on me, on me, easy on me, easy on me, easy on me, easy on me. Go easy on me. When you steal my heart, easy on me. When I fall apart, easy on me. Take it from the start. You're making me feel all brand new. If this is for real, baby, go easy on me. So easy on me. Easy on me. Easy, go easy on me. Easy, go easy on me.
Looking back on the life that you're leaving, let it rest in a hole in the ground. Stick around for the great revealing, or the fire you've been dancing around. All we hear is the sound of retreating. No one cares where you're coming from. My ears are still ringing and bleeding. I guess we all knew from the start. These are the days my
All remaining competitors, round 8 to the staging lanes, please. All remaining competitors to the lanes, please. Round 8. Bring them in, everybody that's left. Round 8 to the lanes, please.
looking for answers. Oh, what a disaster. These are the days my heart goes numb. My heart goes numb. Breathing the fumes of the ashes, the spirits light up the night, looking down the edge of forever. So stop me or take my advice. Have you lost your will for the saving? Are you finally going insane? Getting so fed up with believing, comatose, still alive. These are the days my heart goes numb. Yeah, one of these days will be the one. Looking for answers and found a disaster. These are the days my heart
Registration is closed. It will reopen at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. It will begin running at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. See how that happens? Registration window will open at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and the first pair of cars for the million, 1.1 million, will be headed down the racetrack at 10 a.m. Jody Davies, Tim Sloan, and Mr. Westbury. Davies, Westbury, and Sloan, we are missing your presence in the staging lanes. Come on with it.
Hey, from the moment of my opened eye, been looking for a guided light to lead me on my way. Yeah, lost, struggling to make the top, a slipping grip can't hold me up. It's the game of life we play.
Jody Davies, we need you to the staging lanes. Jody Davies, to the staging lanes, please. And there comes Jody Davies. Right on cue. Thanks, guys. See, if Unc had asked that, you probably wouldn't have seen him for 2 hours, but I asked. Bam, there they are right there in the lanes. Thanks, guys.
Now, from this moment rolling up, a speeding train can hold it up. You and I, we lost our way. You cheated light and ran away, and I got stuck with a knife in me, and this pain won't go away, but still, when everything comes crashing down behind your door, when I hear the sound, you say the word and I'll stay the night. You wouldn't text if you moved on.
AJ says as soon as the drivers are strapped in, he is going to send them around the corner. 9 total cars left in competition.
Out of the frame, don't hold your breath. I'm used to the pain, but baby, don't forget. It's all fun and game until the final step. That's when you overstep. You know that I'm weak, you exploit that, yeah. I'm down on my knees when you place your bet. Keep telling myself it's the last of it, but I hold on. When everything comes crashing down behind your door, when I hear the sound, you say the word and I'll stay the night. You wouldn't text if you moved on. You wouldn't keep me in your phone unless you knew that you were wrong. But I hold on.
The engines are fired, and our door cars are coming around the corner. Less than 10 total cars in competition here, and our first pair is in the water. S10 pickup truck of Joe Barney completes the burnout. Springfield, Ohio, left side of the drag strip dialed 666. Howard Westbury, 570 the dial in on the right side. In the, you can't fool us, man, in the early 70s Nova that's trying to be like a 68 or a 69. We see those rear quarter windows. It's cool. We like it all the same. Dial 570. Yeah. We got the Nova police up here that caught you. Westbury is now fully staged. Joe Barney, 666 the dial in. Tree's going to come down, and there they go. The leave, both within 2 thou of each other, and it's going to be the Nova. 569.3 and a 570. It's a double breakout. Barney goes 665.1, takes one single 10 thou of stripe. Joe Barney takes 0.2 inches of stripe. Get out of here. It's over, baby. Park it. Howard Westbury moves on to the next round, 569.3, and Joe Barney will be staring at that time slip for a while. 0.0001 to the finish line first for Joe Barney. He was 18 on the tree to Westbury's 16. Now you get Annalise LeBlanc, left side of the racetrack. Tim Sloan, right side. Annalise and Tim both hitting the tree very hard again within a thou and down to the finish line. It's the Little Vega Wagon from New Hampshire, 6012, 601 dial. She takes 22 at the finish line. She's 009 on the tree. So Annalise takes it home and on to the next round. Tim Sloan was 87 on an 85 with a 008 reaction time. But Annalise was lights out there at the top end of the racetrack. She's been doing a heck of a job driving that thing and snugged it up to within 4 feet at the finish line of Tim Sloan, who was approaching her with a differential of 30 miles an hour more speed. Jody Davies, 663, right side of the racetrack, the bye. Brought to us by DragRaceSolutions.com. So Annalise LeBlanc has the bye to the Door Car Final. How about that? Westbury and Davies have both had bye runs, so Annalise will get the bye to the final, and Davies goes 663.9 on a 63 dial, keeping the tune-up sharp with a 12 reaction time. Dragster drivers are strapped in. They'll be lighting them off here momentarily. So the dragsters going to run themselves down to a semifinal. Setting up the final in dragster. Hunter Patton and Kevin Brannon. Patton Hunter Patton had Spencer Massey next to him last round. Got around Spencer. He's going to try to do the same thing to Kevin Brannon. Brannon dialed 451. Hunter Patton, 461 the dial in. Left-hand side. Going through his normal routine in the cockpit. Wriggling around in there, making sure he's comfortable. Going to have a good field of vision because Kevin Brannon has been on top of the game all day today, as has Hunter. Find out if he's got enough to advance to a final here. Red light for Kevin Brannon. Hunter Patton goes 461.3, 004 reaction time. Kevin Brannon's car was staged very, very shallow. You saw the bulb flickering, and we've been talking about this since early in the week. If you're in very shallow, there is no stage lock in this system. So if the car flinches, it fires the tree. Or if it flinches when the tree is beginning to fire, it will throw a red light if you're staged extremely shallow. Reviewing the video up here at the timing tower is Andre Nunez from San Juan, Puerto Rico, right side of the racetrack, 482. Gary Williams, 483, left side. So Gary Williams dialed 483 and Nunez 482. Reviewing the video up here, you can see the car rocking back and forth and flinching, and unfortunately, when that tree's armed, if it's not all the way in, it throws the red light, as it should, but it's an unfortunate turn of events. You got to be fully staged with this thing. You got to have a good bite of it. As Gary Williams now is pre-staged next to Andre Nunez. Williams 008 to Nunez's 12, and it's got to be Gary Williams, 484.2 on a 483 dial, taking 6th thou at the stripe, which works out to about 16 inches. And I mentioned the 008 reaction time. Nunez was 83.5 on an 82 dial, had a 12 light. So Gary Williams will take on Hunter Patton in the dragster final. Patton will have lane choice. And 3 door slammers left. Annalise LeBlanc, I keep wanting to call her La Chapelle because when she was driving like junior dragsters, when I was announcer at New England Dragway, she was La Chapelle, but she's LeBlanc. And she has the bye to the final in the door car side of things. So we'll have a couple of minutes, let our competitors splash some gas in it, cool them off, and we'll be back in the staging lanes here momentarily. The Jegs 20K warm-up race started Monday and will be finished tonight.
Jegs.
Some people just think parts is parts, but not us. Because we know when you order any of the over 1 million parts at Jegs.com, you get the whole company. Expert advice, day or night, from the pros who know how to make you go. From now on, get your parts and your smarts only at Jegs.com. Selection, service, and sweet satisfaction. That is Jegs.com.
Allstar TV, the premier bracket racing channel on YouTube.
So it will be a dragster door car showdown when we get to that final round, and we'll find out who's going to be there in just a few minutes when we keep running these cars down. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Those of you watching on MotorMania TV, great day today. It's going to be the big day tomorrow for sure, and we got a lot of racing to do Sunday as well. I am with Williams Squared. FTI Performance, of course, is a huge part of what's going on here this week, and the Williams guys are always representing them. They're going to be here to support customers. They're obviously here racing. And you, young man, you and me have history about big money racing. So back in like 07, 08, somewhere there, you won the Mosier Mania shootout that happened at the IHRA World Nationals. It was a huge deal. I think it paid $50,000 at the time. So I come waddling up there to interview you in front of the whole crowd, and I said, man, this is going to be about the biggest paycheck you've ever won. You said, nope. Thanks for playing, guys.
I think he said no, one of them.
Well, yeah.
It was pretty interesting.
That being said, this is the biggest paycheck anybody's ever going to win, or anybody has ever won.
Everyone in the history of drag racing, top fuel included. Yeah, it's amazing to have the opportunity to even race for this kind of money. Kyle really brought it to the next level. I think he's inspired a lot of other promoters to step up and pay the racers. And I mean, man, I would have never believed it. You know, the actual opportunity to win $1 million, or 1.1 actually.
In FTI, we're talking about a $100,000 warm-up race that FTI is a huge part of. So let's just talk a little bit about FTI's involvement here.
Well, I mean, we've been on board since day one with Kyle. I mean, actually, I think I've only ever missed one SFG race, period. You know, just the sheer number of customers that are on the property, it makes it a no-brainer for any performance company to get aligned with these guys. I mean, nowhere else can you come and have a captive audience of 700 or 800 people, you know, or 800 customers actually hands-on and
using the product.
Absolutely, yeah. We're here to support them. I mean, we have everything on board to freshen trannies, to fix any breakage they may have. We have a complete stock of torque converters, so anything that they need, we're here to help.
And of course, both of these guys are insanely killer racers, and you race continually with a lot of the people that are on the grounds here. When we start getting late in the rounds, do you guys kind of have the book on everybody else? When you go in, you know, okay, this guy's tendency is to try this guy's tendency is to try that.
Well, we definitely get to see all the tactics that they do all over the country, but you know, a lot of that stuff, not saying it'll change for this kind of money, but a lot of people don't get quite out of the box. You know, they're really going to try to square it up and make it as easy as you make the car's performance and all that stuff take care of what it can. I don't think that, you know, there'll be anybody just flat holding tents or doing anything real crazy or stuff, but it'll definitely...
They probably won't get too creative for this kind of money.
And I guess the last question, both of you have run for big amounts of money over the course of your careers. If you get yourself way late in the rounds of this one, does it feel different? Do you think it'll feel different? I mean, you know, obviously nobody's ever run for this type of money, but 100,000 versus 1.1 million. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's definitely going to probably feel different, but you're going to try your best to make sure you don't race it any different. You still want to try to do the same thing you've always done to get to the round before even, you know. You got to win the first round to win the last one. So you got to try to win all of them, but, you know, you don't want to do anything stupid late in a race. So just the main thing I do is double check stuff more. Just mainly with the car, I just double check stuff more. That's about it.
I mean, I think you'll be able to cut the tension with a knife. I mean,
oh, yeah.
I just think back to the first few actual, you know, $1 million race that was a couple 100,000, you know, ultimately to win. And I just know the tension and everybody's attitudes there. You know, everybody wakes up early in the morning that day, you know, and it's a different feel. I can't even imagine whenever they come down and tell you, you know, basically you have at 16 or less, they're going to come down and say, we have 1.2 million. What are you guys going to do? You know, and it's going to be like, whoa.
Oh, that's going to be like a hostage negotiation. The split is going to be unbelievable.
The amount of time it'll take for that will probably be longer than the whole round.
I was telling Gary on the way here, we ought to sketch some stuff out, just try to figure out about how the cars are going to fall and get some stuff written out so it's not that bad, but hopefully we're involved.
The Williams boys have been in the late rounds of big money races before. Odds are they may be there again this week. Stay tuned on the feed all week long, Motor Mania TV. See how many transmissions they fix and how many rounds they win.
What it is, it gives racers that's totally out of the race after the third round another chance at 1.1 million or $500,000. And the way it will work, after the third round is over, anybody that's completely out of the race, you can pay $250 bucks to get into a raffle, and it'll be kept separate. Door car and dragster will be separate, and we'll pull 50 names total, 25 door car names, 25 dragster names. 8 of those guys will go back into the race on each side. The other 34 racers will win $1,000 cash. So you go from being totally out of a race to maybe able to win 1,000 or 1.1 million or 500,000. The way it will work, we'll put the 25 names in with poker chips and we'll pull them out. The first 8 out will go back into the race. first 8 out on the dragster side will go back into the race. The other 16 racers on each side will win $1,000. So, and the way it will go, they will go directly into fourth round racing each other. The door cars, the 8 door cars and the 8 dragsters, they'll be racing each other. So the winner of that will be in the split round with $1.2 million to split up. If you lose in that race, don't go to the cooler yet. Just hang around till the following day because we got a 2-day format now.
Jegs.
Nobody beats Jegs.com. Choose from millions of name brand parts and support from experts who know and love cars. 24/7 for life. There's only one place to go. Jegs.com.
Welcome everyone to the final episode of this 10-part miniseries where Gage Birch and Matt Daddis recap their win at the highest paying drag race in history, the SFG 500. In this episode, we'll recap Gage's win and the moments after the historic victory.
Okay, so we turn the one light on at 4 cars and rolling back to the trailer for the final, and everybody's there like, holy crap, we just won the final door cars and we're about to run. I don't even think I knew who had to run. I think the first thing I said when I got back was like, who do we got to run? Like Coleman or Ezo? And I think Matt told me Ezo. And I was like, cool, like, guess it doesn't really matter, but 2 dragsters, we got to run one of them. And we kind of had a discussion, like the truck's been on the same thing in the last 3 rounds. I mean, it's just doing this thing out there on the truck track. And I felt like we just had the vehicle to beat, like right there and then. I was really happy with how it was performing. And we kind of had a discussion, like, I mean, I pay attention a good bit and watch a lot of big money finals, and especially like $1 million finals. And I mean, personally, I know $5 million winners that I've talked to just almost on a regular basis, and really none of them are better than like 20. Like Underwood's won twice. He's been 21 both finals. Gary Williams, he was 20 something in his final too, at least one of his finals. And talk to those guys all the time. And I mean, it's almost like you got to make a run to where it doesn't have to be like a Superman run. Like just make a decent run down the track, make them beat you. And so to this point, I haven't been better than 8 the last 4 rounds. I lifted weight alone. And I told Matt I'm just going to try to weigh down like 15 total. If he gets in on 15, whatever. Have at it.
Yeah, I think I don't have the slip in front of me because Gage has her framed up. But I think we kind of went into the final like same kind of thought, like just make him beat us, you know, like granted you're running a 460 dragster, so he's at a little disadvantage too. He hasn't had to run a door car all night. We haven't had to run a dragster all night, but we got a couple good time runs, mid-race split rounds and stuff that I think we had a pretty good idea of what the truck was going to go. I mean, at that point, we've, like Gage said previous, it hadn't moved 100th in 8 hours. So we were pretty dead set on, hit the tree decent. I mean, don't have to be, I think we both said, like, don't have to be better than 5. Hit it decent and hold her to the floor. And I mean, it should go dead on. And if you're decent and dead on and he beats you, that is what it is. I think at that point Johnny came up, and super cool dude. We're just kind of BSing back and forth, kind of made light of the situation when you're running for $300,000, if that's even a thing. But talked a little split, ended up racing for $20,000 in the final. And if you, I think Gage and I both said even you get 140 to lose right there, it's not a bad day at the office, I guess. So, but then, I mean, you get to the point where the win light comes on, and that's makes it all worth it, I guess. That's what you strive for, I guess.
Yep. And it's so awesome from somebody like Izzo in the final, someone who's, I don't know, some would argue he's been the best for the last 5 years. Like, no argument there. I wouldn't really argue with that. He's won a lot.
Burnout's complete for Jody Davies and Howard Westbury. Westbury dialed 569 on the right-hand side of the track, and Jody Davies 666, the dial-in on the left side, which I believe was the dial against Howard Westbury last time. So Westbury getting used to running off this nearly 1 second handicap. Understanding so far at this point, there has been no divvying up of the dough. No splits yet. Davies is in. Wheels up for the Nova. Westbury was better. 8-14. Stripe. It is going to be the Nova of Howard Westbury. 5703, 569 dial. Taking 2 thou at the stripe. Howard Westbury drives himself into the Door Slammer final. Jody Davies 667-0 and a 666 dial. 14 light. Good side-by-side matchup there, and Annalise coming up. In order to have lane choice, Annalise has to be better than 008 on the Christmas tree. She tried. She was 004 red. Annalise goes 6017. They definitely going to handle on the tune-up, baby. 6017 for Annalise. She'll be taking on Westbury in the door car final. Westbury will have lane choice. So this is a good one. The dragster final. Williams and Patton. When it comes to names, when it comes to prestige, when it comes to history, you name it. Heavyweight matchup here. And as of right now, they're racing for the flyer. .461 for Patton, 483 the dial-in for Williams. Yeah, unusually long burnout there for Patton. Rolled it right up to the Motormania TV camera. Up close and personal. That old Eddie Hill video.
Did he wave to everybody at home?
I don't think there was any waving.
Okay.
I didn't do a finger count or see a hand come up. So Gary Williams will be leaving first, of course, by about 0.2 of a second. Hunter second to turn the bottom bulb on. Here we go. Within 3 thou. Listen up at the top end. Wow, it's going to be Gary Williams. How about this? 483-1, 483 dial. Williams takes 13-10 thou, 3.4 inches at the stripe. Hunter goes 461-6 on a 461 dial with an 11 reaction time. Man. Couple of trained assassins out there. Great side-by-side racing, so Gary Williams will have the bye to the final of the Jegs 20K warm-up event tonight. Awesome. Great side-by-side racing. You heard at least one throttle burp down there at the top end.
Jegs.
It's 5 years, and to run somebody like that and have a success against them, it's just a crazy feeling. Like, wow, it's like I didn't just go run some nobody in the final. Like, just makes it a little extra special, I guess. And we're in the Ranger, of course.
3 bulbs are lit. We're good to go. Tree comes down. 5 thou. Separate them up. Right. Gage Birch. 15. Ted 2 gets there 12 thou. Ezel 10, 1 above 9, and 12 thou behind.
Okay, so fire the truck up in the lane. Yeah. We'll go off into the water box next to Diesel, and just run through the water box, just trying not to think about, like, I don't know how much is on the line. Just go out there, have fun. Like, at this point, I'm just like, I honestly don't care if it's thou red. We're guaranteed so much that it's been such a good day. Like, why even worry about it? So roll out there, roll through the water. He does his burnout. Truck does his burnout. Backing up fast as it would go. I guess I was a little pumped up because it's like a moment I've been waiting for, like, literally my entire life. Like, I've always wanted to get, like, the final of, like, the million per se, which this race actually paid more, so it was actually, like, bonus. So it's just something I've always looked up to, and it's finally happening. Like, this is my deal. Like, I remember staging in before I turned the top on. I was like, I don't know, fiddling some low box and stuff, turning on the drag switch, and just thinking, taking a deep breath, and I was like, this is the moment you went for your whole life. Like, literally, I can't tell you how many times I've been on, like, a practice street with somebody, and I was like, all right, this is like the final of the million, like something like that, and just cracking it to see what you're going to be. And to actually execute after all those, like, fake scenarios is a super cool deal. I mean, I staged in, and he staged, and tree fire to let go, and I was like, that was pretty good. It drove by it, and I was like, I actually thought I was better in 15. Drove by it, and I was like, ooh, like, I honestly, like, had that feeling, like, in my gut, like, I was like, ooh, I think, like, I literally just won the race, because I felt like to that point, like, me and Matt talked, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, you got to think, like, what's going to be the better vehicle there, the 460 Dragster or the Ranger? Normally, I guess the Dragster would be better, but to that point, I think the Ranger was the vehicle to have in the final, and he treated me by 5 thou, but I was checking up going on that track and knew I was definitely getting there. So, I mean, I wasn't dialed to go under, so if I can get there and go above, I'm obviously going to win. So, you know, that just settled in me going down the track. I was like about to turn on that last one light, and it lit up dead on too, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this truck really just did it again. Like, I was expecting, not really expecting, but like, how many times can it go dead on? Like the odds are not in your favor at that point to go dead on like 7 runs in a row. Like, they're just not. And just to see it come on again, then look over in his lane, he's 1 high or whatever, and I was like, I did the math in my head real quick, and I was like, he must have treated me because I didn't get there by 19 or more. And I was like, wow, truck really saved me right there. And I wasn't even planning on doing this. I just, like, I think it didn't really hit me until, like, we rolled past the quarter mile, and I was like, holy crap, like, that was the end of the race. Like, it's over. So I just hit the brakes, stopped controllably, per se, and put her in reverse and backed up as fast as I could to the starting line. I think it actually went faster backing up the track than it did forward, but rolled back up there. And of course, Matt's the first one standing there. Probably still sup, Brandon. I almost ran him over and skid the truck to a stop. Matt leans in. He yells something. I don't even know what he said, but it just like
I don't remember what I said.
I always wonder what you said, but like it just like triggered me. I was like, that's when I got like super pumped. Door open, got out. Looks like me and Matt were fighting. Pick him up, hugging each other, like just 2 grown dudes out here showing love for each other in the starting line. If you know any better, it would be kind of weird, but considering the circumstances there are, I don't think me and Matt have hugged yet to this day after that. But I think Matt's dad actually, I remember this. He was like, he said like the training guy's not gonna like that backing up before he even said good job, which was pretty cool. Like he was trying.
He
to
did say that, yeah.
He's beyond the tough dad, you know. That's kind of how my dad is too. So it's
honestly, I'm fair. Gage is a pretty calm. Again, we compliment each other pretty well. He's a really calm dude, and I'm a nervous wreck. I may not show it all the time, but even in the car, like, I mean, I get nervous. I start overthinking stuff, but Gage kind of keeps me level-headed. But I couldn't help but go nuts. I mean, I watch him stage up, and I'm like, man, he staged good, and I watched him let go. I was like, I think he got it, and it left. I was like, that was good. I was like, all right, like, come on, truck, like. It's crazy to say, but we're putting all of our marbles on a $10,000 truck to win us $500,000. But I'm like, come on, baby, like just one more time, like put me dead on one more time. And I mean, after that, you don't owe me a thing ever. Like, and I think there's a pretty good video from the starting line. I just start pointing at the scoreboard when he rolls by at 3:30. And just hoping for dead on or something close. And dead on 2 pops up and win light pops on. And I think I smacked my hands together so hard they hurt for about a week. But I mean, it just undescribable feeling. I mean, all of our family and friends are standing right there on the starting line. Austin, Carly. I mean, it's just unreal. Like the whole group of people that were up there, just, I mean, to watch all this happen at 4:00 in the morning, you know, I mean, this has been going on since 10 a.m. And I mean, he's backing up and I'm like, oh boy. So I turn around and I see my truck coming back at me at about 100 and Gage comes rolling in and slides the front tires backwards. And we both said, I don't know what I said to him, but it had to be something along the lines of the truck did it or we did it or something along the lines of, you know, that and get out. And I mean, I don't think there was anything we could have done but hug at that point and looked like we were fighting. But I mean, there was nothing better than that right there. I mean, it was a moment I think both of us can say will be a memory for life. So, and yeah, it's just unbelievable. I mean, just the feeling of it all. I mean, well, I think Gage kind of said it, you know, we both kind of dream about this, like you win go to the final million or even get in the split of the million or something along those lines. And to be able to win the highest paying drag race ever at, you know, still is pretty unbelievable.
So first and foremost, most of these companies go for both me and Matt, which that's on the truck, my Mustang, pretty much anything I drive. I have Mickey Thompson tires on it. Motor engineering, axles, brakes, anything you really need from them. FTI Performance, transmission and converters. Those 3 companies helped me out a whole bunch. Penske Racing Shocks came on this board with me and this year with me and Matt actually at the PRI show, and those are super cool guys and make a super cool product that we're gonna run on our vehicles this year. UPR products, aerospace components, exhaust solutions, innovative racecraft, and of course, got to thank my parents and Matt and his family. It's the daddest family Ford Ranger, as they say. So couldn't do without Matt and his dad, and even his mom. His mom like always makes sure that we go to the track and we have plenty of food or plenty of drinks, just like my mom would if we were here. And our dads kind of just make sure, like, they usually like let us have free will to work on the cars, but they'll check everything over, make sure everything's exactly right and perfect it.
Kind of along the same lines of Gage, Mickey Thompson. I mean, they're people that have been, you know, with me ever since I started racing a big car. First started off with a sponsorship deal, and now, you know, both the guys I deal with all the time are some of my best friends. Talk to them every day. So Buddy and Tommy at Mickey Thompson, Vic Ellinger at Weisco. He puts all the rotating assemblies in all these cars, and I mean, definitely one of my mentors, and I mean, racing, and just it's taught me so much. Dutchler's Tire and Auto, they mount all my Mickey Thompson tires. Then Basil Race Fuels, they put the fuel in these things and get them up and down the racetrack every run. TFC Transportation, Gene and Dave, they helped me out last year a ton, mostly on going to Vegas when we first started the season. But after that, I mean, just great people, local guys to me, really cool people. Then after that, Rick Speedway Performance, they, my uncle Rick, Johnny, Dom at the shop, they put motors in all these things. And, I mean, they, second to none. I mean, it's just like, we're family. So it, you know, all my stuff is, you know, they treat it like their own, which is really nice. Rick Cole Racing Transmissions puts all the trannies in them with FTI parts. So FTI, Mosier, I got Mosier axles and everything I got. Penske, Dustin at Penske, Eric, really cool dudes came on this winter at PRI, talked to them. I'm sure I'm missing someone else. Power Master Performance. They, the truck started when it needed to, when it counted. So, and the Starfire. But yeah, I mean, just without those people, Tricklo, they got Eddie and
APD.
all those guys. Yeah, APD carburetors, Joey, John, Randy at the shop. I mean, they, you know, without all those people that we just mentioned, none of this would be possible. I mean, we wouldn't have near the cars we have, near the equipment we have, and, you know, beat on them nearly as much as we do, and not really have many problems. So it's just, it's a blessing to have all those people on. Definitely got to thank SFG. You know, I mean, that this wouldn't, I mean, right now, what we're doing wouldn't be possible without Kyle and, I mean, AJ, Austin, Justin, Brad, I mean, the whole crew at SFG definitely, I mean, obviously putting light onto this situation, first of all, like, I mean, just a couple of 20-year-old kids just going out there and having some fun in a, you know, beater bracket truck and able to do this. And I think Kyle even said it, like, I mean, this was good for the brand of SFG and good for the brand of bracket racing too in general, to show what you can do with, you know, something that isn't a $100,000 dragster.
100%. This shows exactly what bracket racing is built around. Like, it's not heads up racing. Most money wins. Like, not really the case. It's just because you have something that's pretty good and you have a decent driver, you can do great things with it. I mean, obviously it helps to have something that goes dead on every run, but that's not always the case. But you can still win with pretty much, like, me and I think fourth round I ran a dude that, like, it looked like literally a street Nova that drove in there. He was on like 8-inch slicks and stuff, and he made a really good run next to me. It was just super cool, and he was a young guy too, like around my age, I want to say. So
Yeah,
it's super cool to find somebody like that, and obviously super cool to have success I did in that race. But it just shows, I mean, got to be in it to win it, and SFG doesn't make you give an arm and a leg to get in it. So
I mean, I see winner circle pictures, it seems like every week coming from you, whether it be in the Mustang or the Junior, top bulb, bottom bulb. Is this the biggest race you ever won?
It's the biggest race anyone's ever won.
All right, cars making noise down there, it sounds like. We're getting close to it anyway. Semi-final round, we're going to run off the two door cars. The dragster has the bye, so we are guaranteed a short wheelbase car and then the rear engine dragster in the final. The burnout's being completed here as our door slammer final, door car final is upon us. Annalise LeBlanc on the right side of the racetrack. Howard Westbury on the left side. Westbury dialed 569. Annalise dialed 601. Interestingly, Westbury finds himself on the left side. He made his last couple of runs on the right. Annalise made her runs on the right. I think she may be where she wants to be. Little Nova rolls ahead. Which one of these old Chevys going to race the dragster in the final? Gary Williams watching on. So he will take on the winner of this pair. Both cars pre-stage. Westbury goes in. Here goes Annalise. Whoa, big time trouble for Westbury as Annalise is going to drive down the racetrack, goes 6:016, 0:29 reaction time, and Annalise will take on Gary Williams in the final round as Howard Westbury's car, for the first time this weekend, got all kinds of sideways out there. Grew an attitude problem, 884-0 on a 569 dial. He was 004 in the tree too, and then things got weird. So Annalise takes care of business. We got a replay here on the Motor Mania TV feed as the car launched and went right and landed. It launched, went right, and landed way out of the groove. As it came up off the starting line, the thing tracked to the right. Front end's in the air. Those tires are poor rudders. They don't help the direction of the thing at all. When it landed, unsettled the back end, and it was in a traction-free zone way outside of the groove. So Gary Williams, in order to have lane choice in the final, has to be better than 29 on the tree. And I feel like for Gary Williams, that's not that big a problem. Nice burnout there for Williams. The FTI drags are going to back up here to the starting line again. Those of you watching on the Motor Mania feed, he is right on your living room couch with you there at the end of that burnout. So a Vegas station wagon and the FTI dragster. Williams got a 479 on the board. And Williams goes red, so that means Annalise will have lane choice in the final round. 4803 at 143.45 for Gary Williams. And now we wait for a couple minutes. We'll make that final round call in just a few.
Jegs. Jegs.
And another reminder, a gentle reminder that drive shaft sensors, wheel speed sensors, all that stuff needs to be unhooked from your race car. That's a rule. We have it written down on the wall up here. It's so important. Drive shaft sensors, wheel speed sensors need to be unhooked from any competitive vehicle.
your light
Many people know me. I love the history of drag racing. I love everything that's happened along the way, the crazy stuff that's gone on. And when this guy called me and said, hey, can you come to my race and be part of the largest payout in the history of the sport, I literally couldn't say yes quick enough. This is SFG Kyle, of course. And dude, what you were doing here is beyond words. Do you even believe what we got going on here?
Yes, I do. I do. After seeing the 500 last year, I envisioned this to be actually a little bit bigger than this, but it's still something rolling in.
Well, listen, there have been a couple of hurdles over the last several months that this race is clearly bigger than, right? And which I think is an amazing thing. We look at some other places that may be struggling right now, some other parts of the sport that are having trouble. SFG is not. You have, what, I think we had 702 entries today.
Yes.
And in the course of everything that's going on in the world, that's amazing.
Yes, it is. And I like to start off by thanking God. Without him giving me this vision, this would never be. And perfect weather forecast. They beat me up a little bit on our announcing crew, so I said, I'm pulling out all the guns.
Well, I can't thank you enough. We got Bob Bunker coming in as well. People love him. All the racers know him as well. And, you know, I don't know. I think this is one of these things, and I know it is. 10 years, 20 years from now, there's going to be 10,000 people that claim they were at the first one of these.
Exactly.
And there's going to be this awesome group of hundreds of the best racers and a few of us that are lucky to be part of it. And I can't thank you enough.
Man, I can't thank you enough for accepting my offer to come along and join the reins of Hank Mulligan, you know, who's a good friend of mine.
Yep.
I've known him for a long time. Cracks jokes on the mic.
Oh, he's
so
great.
I said, we're going to add to Hank and bring in Brian and I can't wait for you guys to team up, all three of you.
You'll be watching it all week long on MotorMania TV. Make sure as you're watching, you're sharing the feed, you're telling your friends to tune in. We want a massive audience. We want to get 1.1 million viewers for $1.1 million. It's this guy's vision, it's this guy's guts, and this guy's determination that made it happen. On behalf of everybody in drag racing, man, thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, we'll take our two finalists to the lanes, please. Let's get our final run here and put a lock on the Jegs $20,000 warm-up race, coming to its successful conclusion this evening. There's Annalise. Anybody who wants to be involved in the Races for Christ Chapel service, that's tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. The white event tent behind the pitside grandstand. It's a drive-up style service. That'll be happening at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. We will begin, I should say, resume eliminations in the $1.1 million race at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
This is how
So both drivers have climbed into their race cars. Annalise and Gary Williams putting their helmets on right now. Great way to end the day here. It's been a spectacular day of competition as we've had multiple of those in a row. Getting ready to light off this last final round. All right, so both cars are fired up as we have this last final round of the night. It has been a fun trip watching this $20,000 race kind of come together. And, you know, drag racing is an interesting thing. You make friendships along the way. You meet people, you know people. They kind of come in and out of your drag racing sphere. Well, for me, and Annalise LaChapelle, which was her name before she married Dennis LeBlanc, this was a woman that I saw race at New England Dragway as a kid. She drove a Cutlass for many years. She is a great racer, but she has a very tall order next to her. Gary Williams, of course, one of the true legends in the world of bracket racing and certainly in the high-stakes competition like we're having here this week. So we'll find out if she's up to the task in the Little Vega wagon, as this is the final round. Want to stick around. We're going to have a winner circle interview with both the winner and the runner-up after this. Tomorrow morning, just as an update, we're going to be starting the race program at 10 a.m. And we thank all of you for tuning into MotorMania TV. And please stay online with us after this final round because we'll transition down to the winner circle and talk to our winner and runner-up. Burnout's complete. Gary Williams backing his way speedily up to the starting line, and Annalise LeBlanc gets pulling the left side. I keep doing it because I've said it so many times the other way. Annalise has looked very strong. Reaction time has been 00 several times. The car has been very, very consistent on that 6 flat to 601 dial range. They have it dialed a little bit quicker now to 6 flat. Williams dialed at 481. Annalise pre-staged. Gary Williams halfway there. Little Vega wagon or the big long dragster. Take your pick as they're about to go in at the same time. Gary Williams leaves second. Annalise had the better reaction time by a little top end stripe. It is going to be Gary Williams, 481.9 on a 481 dial. He took 11th thou at the stripe like the professional that he is. Annalise LeBlanc went 602.7 on that 6 flat dial in, 009 green light. She can at least say that she left on Gary Williams, so she can hang her hat on that one. It was a great, great run for Gary, and he got paid well for the work that he put in this Jegs $20,000 warm-up race. Congratulations to both teams and everybody that went late in the rounds. We're going to have a winner circle interview, so if you're watching on MotorMania TV, hang out with us for a few more minutes. When they cruise up the return road, you will be able to talk and listen to us chat with the winner and the runner-up. Stay with us, and those of you that are racing and hanging out with us for the rest of the week here at the racetrack, please, let's shoot no fireworks off tonight. We have a pro fireworks show coming for you tomorrow night, so please, we'll keep amateur hour to a minimum this evening with your pyrotechnics because we got the big stuff coming tomorrow. Tomorrow's race day, the richest race day in the history of drag racing. It is going to be so fun to watch that whole thing unfold. Please stay with us on MotorMania TV, and for those of you that are going to be racing tomorrow for the $1.1 million, sincere good luck from all of us up here in race control and across the SFG staff and US 131 Motorsports Park staff, and we'll be right there cheering and yelling and screaming with you tomorrow.
Jegs.
You'll be back.
Well, a little hooting and hollering going on down there in the winner's circle. Gary Williams getting the car backed in. Lots of folks giving the attaboy the high fives and, well, the accolades. So richly deserved down there. Brian Lowe's working in, see if he can get a word with Gary. We see Brian. We don't see Gary, but he's getting close. You ready? Hey, looks like Brian's
Well, down
ready.
here in the winner's circle, this is about as big a winner's circle as we've seen all week. Congratulations, first off, Gary Williams. Incredible job. How did you roll up here with a steak dinner? I've never seen a guy roll into the winner's circle with a steak before.
I don't know. Nick told me if I won, I had a heat steak in it for me, and I didn't even get off the track good, and he was here, take it. I'm like, hold on. He's like, no, you're taking this now. So it's really cool, man, to be able to win this. My whole family pretty much flew in. My whole family pretty much flew in just like at 9 cars or something and come rolling in the gate. A bunch of family and friends showed up just because of the prestigious race we have going on here, and it's really awesome, man. This little 20-grander started on Monday, but this little car been carrying me all day. You know, it's been really, really great. And my name's Gary Williams. Not Gary Williams Jr.
Listen.
My dad's here. So.
Hi, Dad.
And Troy Williams Jr. We got the same dad.
Wait a second. You guys are related? All right, this is mind blown.
My mom didn't think you were talking too church-like about her when you called me Gary Williams Jr.
My apologies. It's a long week. Is there a better way to set yourself up for tomorrow than this?
I mean, I don't want to use all my luck up now because I'm going to need about 9 more rounds of it tomorrow.
It's going to be absolutely wild. You got a party to attend and a steak to eat. Congratulations.
Yeah, I hope I live through the party just to make tomorrow's race.
Ladies and gentlemen, let them hear it. Gary Williams, your 20K Jegs winner. So we are down here with the runner-up of the Jegs $20,000 race, Annalise LeBlanc. Now, I kept calling you Annalise LaChapelle because I've known you for like 20 years now. You've been a great bracket racer since I've known you, since we were both kids, really. Talk to me about this day.
It was wild. I don't know, it's dragged out for so long that I wasn't really, ready. And then the rounds started going faster and I was getting in a groove, and it was nice having the rounds come quick versus over days. So it's just really awesome.
Car's great. Guys up in the grandstands were betting. They were loving every round win you pailed off. We saw a lot of cash flying around up there. And, I guess just let's talk about the fact that how consistent this thing is. I mean, it fell into a nice groove right about 6 seconds, and it didn't move at all.
Yeah, the car is awesome. It's, deadly consistent. We just love it. It's a great family car, and I'm so happy and thankful I get to drive it.
Jackson and Bill Waters hanging out back here. You guys had some decent days as well. You guys all represented the New England region in pretty good fashion. Who's left in the big one? Is anybody left in the big one yet? All right, so 3 out of 4 ain't bad. You don't have an entry, so you get to hang out tomorrow and play cheerleader.
Yep, and drink some whiskey tonight.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Annalise LeBlanc, your runner-up, and she collected a pretty good payday tonight as well here in the Jegs $20,000 warm-up. We will be back tomorrow, action starting at 10 a.m. for $1.1 million, the Allstar Performance SFG Jegs Million, and it all goes down tomorrow, the richest day in drag racing history. 3 of the 4 of them have a shot at it.
Jegs. Jegs.
What it is, it gives racers that's totally out of the race after the third round another chance at $1.1 million or $500,000. And the way it will work, after the third round is over, anybody that's completely out of the race, you can pay $250 bucks to get into a raffle, and it'll be kept separate. Door car and dragster will be separate, and we'll pull 50 names total, 25 door car names, 25 dragster names. 8 of those guys will go back into the race on each side. The other 34 racers will win $1,000 cash. So you go from being totally out of the race to maybe able to win $1,000 or $1.1 million or $500,000. The way it will work, we'll put the 25 names in with poker chips and we'll pull them out. The first 8 out will go back into the race. First 8 out on the dragster side will go back into the race. The other 16 racers on each side will win $1,000. So, and the way it will go, they will go directly into fourth round racing each other. The door cars, the 8 door cars and the 8 dragsters, they'll be racing each other. So the winner of that will be in the split round with $1.2 million to split up. If you lose in that race, don't go to the cooler yet. Just hang around till the following day because we got a 2-day format now.
For high performance? When you want high performance, there's only one place to go. Jegs.com. Jegs.com has the largest selection of high performance automotive parts on the web. When you need high performance, Jegs.com has the part you want when you want it. Want performance? You've got it. Jegs.
Well, we did it. Congratulations to G-Dub, Gary Williams. Yeah, G-Dub. You know, it's really hard not to put G-Dub in the info block, but because that's what we all know him as. But he's a winning racer. And also congratulations to Annalise LeBlanc for her great showing over days. I mean, we started this on Monday and I wasn't too sure we were going to finish it today, but we did. And now tomorrow we will be live at what, 9:30? Yep. We will be live at 9:30. They expect to have cars on track by 10. Okay, now there are no time runs. We go directly into round 2 of the 1.1 million. Can you believe it? And it's 4th of July and all that. And that's about all I need to say. So y'all go to bed, get a good night's sleep. We got a great show for you tomorrow. Okay? See you then. Love ya. Bye.